classmates, it's teacher Dani again, and I have another home activity to share with you today. Today, we are going to be making the biggest star in outer space. Does anybody have any guesses what the biggest star is? We see it every day in the morning. It's called the sun. Remember how we were reading the Dr. Seuss There's No Place Like Space book? Well, we're going to be making the sun from that story. Okay, we're going to be doing some prediction and color mixing to create our sun. So, for this activity, we're going to need some paint. So you can use some yellow and red paint. You're going to need also, you can use a coffee lid. I have a lid from a Play-Doh container because I'm at the site. You can use any lid that you have in your home to trace around to make the circle for the sun. You're going to need a pair of child safety scissors for your child to cut out the circle, and a pencil or something to trace with. Also a Ziploc bag. And then finally, when we get to the next step, once our sun dries out after being painted, then we're going to use some blue paper and some glue, okay? The blue represents the sky. All right, so let's get started. So the first step for this activity to create our sun is circular, right? Our sun looks like the shape of a circle. So we're gonna place our circle down and we're going to trace it. So you can assist your child if they need help tracing, or you can allow them to do it on their own. They're gonna trace a giant circle onto their paper. Okay, as you can see, I have my circle. And then they're going to cut it out. This is a perfect fine motor activity because they're cutting the circle on the line, right? This is building their fine motor skills and making sure that their thumb is in the small hole and their two fingers are in the big hole, okay? So they're gonna cut and follow the line all the way around. So you can use any type of construction paper you have at home. If you have cardstock is even better because for wet tempera paint, sometimes if you put too much, it can seep through. So I recommend cardstock, but I'm going to use the construction paper that we have here on the site. So look, I have my circle. Now's the fun part. We're going to add some of our colors. We have the red and the yellow. So we're going to put that onto our circle. A little bit of red and some yellow. Put too much yellow. All right, and then we're going to place it in the baggie, okay? So if your child doesn't like getting messy with their fingers and smushing it around on there, we can always put it in a Ziploc baggie and make our squishy sun. So we're gonna make sure it's nice and sealed. You can help your child place it into the Ziploc, or they can do it themselves and try. Then you're gonna snap it shut. And here comes the fun part. Then they're gonna squish it, okay? So they're gonna smush it around. Then you can ask them questions about what color do you think it's gonna turn when we mix the colors together? And then they can make predictions. Oh, I think it's gonna turn orange, or I think it's gonna turn red. You know, so that gets their brain working and they're making predictions of their guesses for what their sun's going to look like. And look, as you can see, the colors are starting to mix together and starting to change color. Do you see that? So we're going to make sure we keep going until we try to cover all of the parts of the white paper. It might be kind of difficult if you have thinner paper because the paper, you have to be careful because it might rip. But if you have cardstock or a thicker piece of paper, it's easier to work with, okay? You're going to do that. Make sure it's nice and squishy. And once you're done, then you're going to take it out. This is the part that gets kind of messy, so you probably will need to help your child. Going to slowly take it out of the plastic bag. And it helps if you pull apart the top part that it's stuck to, especially with the paper, because it is sticky. Okay, let's try to get it out. See, with the paper, it's very thin. So, and then ideally you'll let it dry for however long it takes. And then you're going to use the glue once it's dry. You're going to put glue on the back side and you're going to paste it to your blue scene. And then you'll have your sun in the sky, just like the star that we learned about in the story. Okay? I hope you guys enjoyed this activity of making a squishy sun and that you have a nice day, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.